Hello and good evening, everybody. Darren here tonight in the
You
commentary
streaming
booth.
on your own, Aaron?
Oh, I've just gone live and I've just been joined by Mr. Rogers. That was
You
some
got a
good.
real racer joining you in the booth.
That was some good timing, wasn't it? Are you actually racing tonight, Mr. Rogers?
I am. I could stay here though, couldn't I? No
As
reason
long
why not.
as long as you don't F and Jeff,
No,
you can
not
stay
at
in
all.
the booth.
I'll give you some live commentary.
Oh well. So there we go. So joining us in the booth is Mark Rogers, who's currently racing in the race. Mr. Young, TQ, top qualified, qualifying in his VibroX liveried Ginetta, 1 minute and 58 seconds before the start of qualifying. Do you have any
Only
predictions?
two of them in 231s, aren't there?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have any predictions, Mr. Rogers?
Brian and Peter come to contact at the top of Radion.
Okay. Yeah, I see
Mr.
what you're
Christopher
saying.
gets tagged in the back.
He likes being tagged in the back, though. Boom,
He
boom.
does like tagging in the back, doesn't he? Yes.
Boom, boom, and all that. What have we got here? So I'm trying something different with my interwebs tonight to see if we can improve it somewhat.
Right.
Very boring for those of you that join us on the stream. We've got 57 seconds to go before it starts. My little dowel that I'm using. Oh, there we go, and we've started. I'll fill everybody else in afterwards. But the short of it is my adapter is using two separate internet connections.
All right.
So one of them I have connected to my house Wi-Fi.
Okay.
The other one I have connected to my mobile router.
So is your Discord just on your mobile then, is it?
I think it's split. So the game's on one, and some of the streaming software's on another. So we'll see if we get a better thing. Okay, so I think Wolfie got out first with the. For some reason, he doesn't have a livery on. So maybe I've got the wrong livery pack. Oh dear, that's going to make for very boring.
He does have the right livery to me. So.
This is going to be a very black race because I don't have the livery pack installed on this computer. So what should be very pretty looking PWS cars are all black.
So we're all black, are we? Have you got green cars?
The VibroX is green, and there's somebody not in a liveried car. So just checking on the map to see who got out first. Yes, Wolfsliner got out first.
Peter, followed by Brian, yeah.
Followed by Brian, followed by 81, which is bosh, I can't see number 81 down my list.
I'm third, actually. You got your live.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Brian's 81, yes. Yes, and you're currently third, so...
And then Mark is behind me.
Mark, he's going to like that. Howells is already off. Evans has yet to make it out of the pits.
Well, these are quite little beasties on cold tyres.
They're exciting on cold tyres is what they are. Right, that's got the timing up correctly on the stream. I'm sure all of you, right, we're starting the lap. So, let's ride on board with our potential, one of our two potential pole sitters. I don't think anybody else is in contention if they can get the lap clean. So we have track limits. That's a lovely shot, that is. I'm coming towards Eau Rouge now as they go up Eau Rouge. We have track limits at the top of Eau Rouge, so spoilt lap, I think, by Peter. Well, it's not showing as spoilt yet. can't believe I didn't get the liveries on in time. This is what happens when you rush. So as it stands, Mr. Young will take TQ if they maintain this by 3 or 4 tenths from Ulschleiner in the most excellent 50X liveried car. I'm just going to ride on board with them for a little bit longer. Pedersen is on a spoilt lap. Zambas is on a spoilt lap. Evans is on a spoilt, and so is Bourne. Everybody else currently is good to go. This is going to be fast from Young. This is going to be fast from Young. Just got both of these in shot. Slowly dropping Rogers behind him, who happens to be in the stream, joining us. So let's talk about tyre strategies, Mark.
Look after them.
So remind me, this race is a no pit stop
50
race.
minutes, yeah, all the way.
Okay, so as predicted, a 2:31.7 for Young. Let me swap back. 2:32.4 Wolfschleiner, 2:32.7 for Rogers. Christopher in with a 2:34 dead. Bailey with a 2:34.8. We're rolling into the 35s. Well, Mark might get a time in.
Oh,
Oh, that's Rogers gone spoilt.
just invalidated, about a centimetre off the white line.
Let's replay that and see where Rogers invalidated. Was it through Eau Rouge?
Yeah, top of Radion. Must have been just a tiny bit out.
I haven't gone far enough back for that. No, I missed it, so I got that wrong on my settings. I'll change that. Right, so we now have Young is out to improve again. Wolfschleiner is down.
Up on Peter.
Yes, at a fair rate of knots as well. They don't have to give way to each other.
No.
This is qualifying. There is a little bit of a gentleman's rule where you would. It's gentlemanly to let the faster car through, but it's far from compulsory.
They're both on improving laps, though. So.
They're both on improving laps. The biggest improver at the moment down the field is Christopher. He is 0.9 up.
Chris Bourne. Or Mark.
Mark Christopher. He is up, so I'm going to go to Mark. Watch the end of his lap. Commentator curse him. Just lost 2 tenths. Just on switching to him. Now Wolfschleiner has found 2 tenths on this lap. That push from Young must have helped him along. As you can see visually, they've got now a much bigger gap. And 4 tenths improvement for Wolfschleiner puts him 0.3 behind Young now. Let's jump back on with Christopher, who is a second up. Nearly a second up. That's going to jump into 4th. 1.3 seconds from the lead. So let's have a look down. Big mover here is Condron. 1.2 seconds up. This will jump him right inside the top 10 if he's able to finish this off nicely. And also we've got Garland and 12th. We've also got Howells is 0.6 up. This is starting to get exciting. So we're just starting to see the fast guys in for a pit. Looks like they're coming to take a second set of tyres. We do have some movers up the top. We have Mark and Bourne and Cooper, half a second up. And Mark's just displaced Christopher. We have Pedersen, no, spoilt lap. I think he's gone off. We have Bourne, half a second up. Cooper is the mover, 0.8 up. This should move him towards the top 3 if he can continue at this pace. Wowzers, just touching on a second up there for Cooper. Young is on to improve even further out front. If Young does this, it will put him to a 31.5. So sticking with Cooper. Cooper's the mover here. He's managed to find himself 1.4 seconds. And that is nothing to be sniffed at. Rogers, who's joined us in the booth, absolutely no pressure, has just rolled over into improving now, and oh, he's lost it again.
No.
You're down according to my screen. And off. You had a little off there, sir.
No, just pulled over.
Okay. So yes, Cooper's still 1.4 seconds up. This will jump Cooper into the top 3 or 4. If he can make good exit, 1.5 seconds. Nearly 1.6, a third. What an outstanding lap from Cooper there. Stick himself in third so far with 4 minutes to go. Obviously, he's just managed to get his tyres in the window. Let's go a little bit further back down the field. We've got Howells on a lap. Good lap from Howells currently. Then even further down the field, we've got Evans and let's have a look. Don's on a lap. I'm sure Young is looking class of the field at the moment, though. He's 0.4 up on Wolfschleiner, who doesn't seem to have an answer for him yet. However, Peter has just pitted for fresh tyres. So let's jump on. Oh, I think that might be spoilt. Now he's just managed to hold that. So, gaining a 10th down the Camel Straight. It's all to play for now. There'll be this lap and one more lap for those still doing laps. Wolfschleiner is 0.2 up and gaining. He's gained another 10th. And silence in the booth for a moment. So I'll tell you what we haven't got up, Mr. Rogers. I haven't got YouTube up anywhere, so I can talk to our chat people on the tube. So let me disconnect from all of my networks because I do struggle. No swearing.
Just went a tiny little bit wide on my entry to the first lap, and it's
cream
invalidated it. And
cream
now
eggs.
I'm not gonna,
You're not going to get a lap, are you?
On the screen. I'm not going to get a lap now. No.
Oh, shame on you. Right, okay, so Nikos, Darren, you still have time to install deliveries when quality ends. Just throw them in your docs folder and restart the game. I'm not sure whether... oh, bumholes. As if I'm chopping in and out still. Oh, that's rubbish. So what I'm finding basically is for those of you that are watching, oh, I see exactly what's happened. My priority map, and it's fallen down onto one connection. So give me a moment, I shall be back. Right, I am back for the important bit. 30 seconds to go. Wolfschleiner is up enough on this lap to take pole. So this is it.
No, not made it.
This is it. Finish your laps. We have got Young still in the pits. Wolfschleiner was half a second up. Wolfschleiner is now, he's lost his advantage. Oh, I
He's
thought
just
we was
hovering on there, isn't he? He's not going to get 0.4
no,
of a second.
He's not. He was 0.5 of a second up. So, the voice and video is still choppy. Well, I've done something to try and improve it. The problem is my upload speed here on Sky is 4.4 megabits. Right, that's my upload speed, and currently the software is uploading 4.4. So it is running maximum of my connection. I've managed to get the Double Shot Pro working again, but I'm not sure if it's going to do it, but it is what it is. I'm sorry, guys. You'll have to put up with it. Oh, I see what the problem is because I'm watching it. Right, let's have a rundown. I am terribly sorry to everybody that this is a bit naff. So maybe you'll just have to back up. Right, let's do a rundown. 1 minute to go. Getting sidetracked here, Mr. Rogers. We have Young, 231.4. We have Wolfschleiner, 232 dead. We have, let's move to a, let me press that button. We have Wolfschleiner with a 232 dead. Cooper, 232.3. Rogers joining us on the stream, 232.7. Not bad for your first lap.
An old boy, yeah.
An old boy. Bourne, 232.7. 8. So you were 232.72, 232.78. On Mark, 232.8. Christopher, 233.1. Pedersen, 233.2. Holmes, 233.4. Let's go down here. We've got Holmes, Bailey, 233 dead, rounding out the top 10. We then go on to Bywater, Trowbridge, Howells, Condrom, all in the 233s. And then in the 34s, from 15th, we go Zambayas, Coldram, Garland, Simpson, Harvey, Hopkins. And then the 35s, we've got Balearic, Dont, Schmidt, Evans, and Newton rolling up the back. Newton we know as Fester.
Newton, middle Newton. No, young Newton.
Young Newton, the young one. We call him Fester, affectionately known as. So what we will learn from doing all of this is the YouTube stream is going to fall further and further behind because my internet connection is so bad. Right, so for example, I have YouTube up now, and a while ago I changed the stream over, and I've noticed now that it's seems like I fixed it. Well, let's hope I fixed it, shall we?
And just don't chop the stream off.
And I'll try not to chop the stream off, so I'm going to stay on later at the end. Right then, so 1:44 to go. We are on the grid. I'm going to get rid of the tree for the start.
The tree? I'll sit on the grid. There's no point in sitting with tyres up in the air.
No point whatsoever in sitting with tyres on the air. My little doobie flop is still going like wildfire, but we are working, so I'll take that. We're working, we're good. So, predictions.
Door banging top of Eau Rouge, Peter and Brian, a little bit, but I think they'll survive. Mr. Cooper will get through cleanly. Mr. Bourne will probably jump me at the start.
I've completely cocked it up by only having the Vibro X livery. And who is that who hasn't got a livery on at all?
That is Tristan Simpson, I think.
Right. Yes, it is Simpson. Did not get the memo.
Ignition on and start engine. Got to remember to do that.
Yes, don't forget to start your engine.
Because this is a simulator, not a game, so you have to start your ignition and start your engine.
Yes, it is. I think at the start I'm going to go to helicopter view.
My tyres are blue as blue can be.
I think that Wolf's best chance
is
at the beginning. I think if Young gets away, I think it's game over. So we'll see. Any predictions in YouTube? And also in YouTube, don't let me forget to do driver of the day. I forgot to do that. So, as we get ready, heading towards the line, there's myself, Darren Dazzler on the mic, along with Rogers, who's racing. And in the words of Murray Mulker, we're go, 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 go. Young moves across to, Wolves had to break. Wolves had to break going into Eau Rouge.
We all did.
Backwards. Oh, a bit of carnage. There's been carnage. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Probably that break caught everybody out, I should think.
Caught everybody out. Let's get back up the front. I have not got time to go backwards to look at that carnage. We have Cooper.
It's gone round the outside.
Has gone for the outside. Cooper is looking competitive, but he's about to lose it to Wolf. He's been too polite. Wolf did leave him room, though. And we've got Rogers sitting in fourth, about to... Oh, very close. That would have been a shame on the...
Couldn't I? Yeah.
Shame on the... Oh, bit of a nudge.
Oh, he nearly lost that there.
Oh, he did nearly lose that. Right then, so we have Young out front. Wolfschleiner second, Cooper third. A little bit of action up the front. Everybody is very, very close to one another. I don't know where to look. And for action, probably here. Young has managed to get a 0.6 gap already. It looks like Christopher was able to avoid the carnage. He's the one with the white wheels in that group. Now Cooper has now settled down, but I don't think he's got the pace of the fast boys. A little bit of limits there. Right, let's have a look back here. Schmidt on Newton. So Newton is in the Vibro X car. Very nicely done, gentlemen. 2 wide all the way through there. There was 2 moves in 1 shot then. Side by side. I'll try not to miss this. We've got Bourne on mark. With Mark getting that done. Further back, we have a Hail Mary. Oh, that was close. That was proper close. I think that was Bywater having a bit of a Hail Mary down the outside. Then no, it was Dont having a bit of a Hail Mary. Also known as the Bomb. So we'll see if we've got anybody cracking under the pressure. Looks like Newton's just cracked there. Give that spot to Dont. And Bywater in 1 swift move. Now he really needs to keep his hand on his wallet because he was just mugged. 2 wide going down. 3 wide going down the Kemmel straight there. It's all action in the Ginettas tonight. So the front separated out a little bit, but we have this little tight battle at the back. The front has settled. Young has got half a second to Wolf, who's got a second to Cooper, who's got a second to Rogers, who's got roughly a second to Mark, and then Bourne and Christopher are a little bit closer. I think this is just going to separate out a little bit. These Ginettas are incredibly difficult to master. You have that, there's that fine window, isn't there, Mr. Rogers, of
they're either
being
going smoothly or spinning.
And the moment they start to, you hear the tyres, you're losing speed, basically. So we have, now this can't be right. It's got currently Schmidt set as having the fastest lap on my screen. He is purple on that screen
Brian's
too.
First lap didn't count.
No, I don't think anybody's first lap has counted on my screen.
Brian's got a 14-minute first lap by the look of it.
Yeah, you've got your screen up as well, are you? Taking a look.
I can.
And Wolfie is showing a 7-minute first lap. Oh, yeah, they're all just coming in now. Okay. Right then, so Brian has now got the fastest lap. Everybody else's lap, surprise, surprise, was spoilt. Bit of track limits. We will be doing some shaming for track limits. Oh, avoiding action there by Schmidt. Let's go back.
In the pits?
I'll take a look in a second. Let's go back and check this out. Schmidt completely got his braking point wrong and had to bail out, so he didn't make contact. Fair play for not making contact. But boom, your race is done. We've got Harvey off. What's happened here for Harvey? He's gone up through Eau Rouge, clipped the curb, lost it on the second curb, and bang! Into the wall. Right, back to the action. Let's ride on board with Rogers, who's now under pressure from Mark, Bourne, and Christopher, with Bourne just making the move stick then on Mark. So that's Bourne now up behind Rogers. Christopher is just holding on to the back of this group. Like any minute now, the man in our commentary booth with us is going to come under pressure from Bourne.
He's going to get mugged, yeah.
Yeah, what's that saying? Put your money away, I'll tell you this for free. Put your money away, tell you this for free. So, Rogers using all of the track and some of the track, some of the area that's not the track, has let Bourne and Mark, and so the battle we've got at the moment was right on board with Mark, with Christopher behind him, and it's let Christopher catch right up. So, sit on board with Rogers and watch it unfold from behind. Rogers is managing to keep Cooper just within touching distance, 2.2, 2.3 seconds in front. The others are much, much, much closer behind. Christopher is looking quite tasty on the back of this group. He's looking quite like he fancies a run at him. Some unsafe rejoins at Radio on Carnage detected. Yes, you're right. Carnage is detected. I'll swap to the Helicam because it's a much better cam for watching down Kemmel Straight. Christopher's now got the legs on. Oh, Mark, no, and he's topped out. Everybody's topped out. So these Ginettas top out about halfway down the Kemmel Straight, and then it's status quo. So it's who's got the biggest kahunas. So with the first... How long's the race for, Mark? 45 minutes?
50, I think.
50 minutes, so the first 15 minutes gone. We've got Young out front. Walshline second, keeping him in touch. We then have Cooper in third, who can just about see Walshliner. Rogers has managed to pull his finger out of his bum and smash in a couple of times. And he's pulled away from Bourne, who was all over him like a rash. And he's now harassing Cooper. He needs to be careful of his brakes, though, because that was close.
There was.
We'll just ride on.
Test from Coops, then, I think.
Well, we'll ride on board with Rogers, so we'll take a look. Coops does like his brakes, though. Definite advantage to having a bit more of the track there. Let's sit across, take a look at the on board, see if Rogers is having to use much opposite lock. No, but he's using all of the steering. Bit of understeer around there, Mr. Rogers. There's this battle behind now. So Rogers setting himself up. Are you setting Coops up now? Is this where you're going to do
it? He's too risky to try it up here, I think.
No, I think you've got to jump him on the exit of this. So there you saw it. Coops just flash the brakes, which is give you just enough of a run.
I'll close up on him on the aero, but I won't get him because we'll top out.
So you're going to top out. There you have it, live from the race. Topping out. Behind, we have Mark on Bourne. These have dropped Christopher now, and they're now catching Rogers and Coops. So Bourne has found some pace. It's nice. We'll head back a little bit. We have Belagic on Dont, and we also have, oh, there's a tasty little battle for 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16th and 17th. Heading down to Zambas. Let's ride on board with Mr. Garland. See how much steering Mr. Garland uses around here. Big dab of brakes. A little bit choppy on the wheel, but no, using nowhere near as much steering as Rogers was when we rode on board with him. Oh, it sounded like one too many gears down then, Malvin, but who knows? Oh, there's been an off. There's been an off. Let's go back and watch this. See what happened. Oh, that was, I think, Bywater clipping the back of Zambas. He is waiting. Well done, guys. And I think he will give the position back. That's nice driving etiquette there. Obviously, it's not good driving etiquette driving into somebody, but we are all amateurs that do this from our bedrooms in our pants, or if you Mark Rogers in his living room in his pants. Oh, we've had somebody run wide there. Really, really wide there. Belichick ran really wide under the pressure. I'm sure he's going to get track limits for that. Try and keep an eye on the gaps. We're heading for a bit of side-by-side towards Eau Rouge. Thought better of it. If he keeps his footing up here. Oh, that was a bit of sideways there. 120 mile an hour top of Eau Rouge in these.
Slide, was it?
Proper slide. Now Dante's side-by-side with Garland. Still running side by side. Still running side by side. And Howells has just mugged him too. Brilliant driving there. Absolutely brilliant driving there. Let's go backwards and ride on board with Howells for a second. Check this out. Look at that. Mugged. You were mugged, mate. Right. Back to the front, what we got here. Mark Christopher looks like he's made a move on our mark and I've missed it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Mark.
No, I don't know what happened to Mark. So let's try this for a second.
It's quite a way back.
Yeah, I've gone back. I haven't got it. I haven't gone back far enough. So we will head back to... Where shall we head back to? Head back to this battle here with Howells, Dont. We have Schmidt off the track, showing for a yellow flag there. I'm thinking that Zambas has got some damage. We might have been keen to have a little laugh on the stream at the absolute mugging that Howells did on him, but he's dropped several places now and is about to get caught and possibly passed by Bywater. Oh, and carnage. Carnage has ensued. Right. I can do this one. Let's have a look what's gone on here. So we have...
So the chicane, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that is... I didn't get their driver's numbers, but that was pretty... Those guys are going to have to sort that out afterwards with the stewards. Ooh, exciting. Up front. Wolfschleiner has caught up with Young. Rogers has caught up with Cooper. So, we have two battles up front. I'll keep an eye on them both the best I can. So let's take a look. And the closest battle at the moment throughout the whole field is with our co-commentator, Mr. Rogers and Mr. Cooper. Both of your PWS teammates. Can you confirm if there's been any team orders for this race?
No team orders. No multi 21 and no Verstappen potentials at all. No.
But actually, it makes no difference to the championship because let's explain to everybody. Let me press the right button to get the display up. We are racing multi-formula. Do you want to talk about multi-formula, Mr. Rogers, or shall I do it? Are you concentrating?
Not when I'm 0.4 behind somebody. No.
So, for those of you that are at home that don't understand what we're doing here, so multi-formula is where you run several different types of either cars or classes or engines or tyres or several different races, but within one race. So we're currently running 3 formulas. We're running Split 1, Split 2 and the Invitationals. So I've just put the tower back up. So everybody in white is racing everybody in white for points. Everybody in red is racing everybody else in red for points. And everybody in silver is racing everybody else in silver. So at this moment in time, in the Invitationals, it's actually Young first, Cooper second, and Coloom third. In the Split 1s, it is Wolfschleiner, Rogers and Bourne. And in the Split 2s, it is Pedersen, Harvey and Zambas. That's about covered it, and you're still 0.4 behind.
Trouble is, I got Bourne 0.4 behind me as well.
Yeah, really, I think Bourne has got the layer. Not to give any commentators curse or anything, but Bourne is currently lapping faster than you.
Well, that's because I can't lap.
So you're lapping around the same time as Cooper. But
that's because I'm stuck to his bumper.
It's because you're stuck to his bumper. Bourne, on the other hand, pulled 0.7 of you over the last lap.
Yeah.
So let's go down the field a little bit and take a look at how everybody else is doing. We've got Christopher with Mark with him. Pedersen having a very, very solid race in 8th. First of the Split 2s. That guy should probably be a Split 1. I'm going to call it and say it. We have Bailey with a small Holmes. We have Don having a battle with Howells. We have Hopkins and Garland having a battle with each other. And that about sums it up. And I think we have Condrum. Looks like he might have been in the pits. So Dusty Binsit, I think, has been in the pits. Newton Jr. is currently lapping the slowest. So Fester, and for those that know him, is currently lapping 7 seconds slower than Young out front, who is just doing enough to get Wolfschleiner, so he pulled 2 tenths back out on him. Cooper, on the other hand, is trying with all of his might to pull away from this battle with Rogers and Bourne. Rogers will have to start.
Survived.
Did he just survive one?
Yeah.
We've got Rogers, who's now, he won't tell you this on stream, but he is now defensive to Bourne, which is compromising his attack on Cooper slightly. So, did we get a track cut for that, Mr. Rogers?
We got a minor warning, yes.
We might have to refer that one to the stewards, leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
And Coops goes deep.
Hello, Coops goes deep then. Right. So,
I don't know where he's going now.
Coops is just helping himself, isn't he? He's all over the place. I'm liking the TAR in your short name. For those that don't know, that stands for tarts. Was it Tartflet, your original username?
Yeah, it is.
I agree with you, Arthur. Pedersen will definitely be in the Group 1 split next season. I think that the Ginettas are a good equaliser for actually learning true pace. I don't think many of the guys overly practice this car, and it's not a car that I think that people choose to race in GT4 racing. So it is a good equaliser, because I think that the practice that you get is maybe one evening or just before the race, isn't it, Mr. Rogers?
Yep, it is. Yep.
So we're getting a proper display of talent. Our Mark is now 0.1 behind Christopher. I think he might be having a look. Rogers nearly made a move there. Bumper to bumper coming through there. Ride on board with Mr. Rogers Spear, see if he can make a rouge. What a run he's got now. So let's have a listen to see if he's going to top out. He needed to go to the right, but he's going left. Let's switch to Helicam. Side by side. He will do it if he's late enough on the bro, and he bottles it. Coops made a mistake then, leaving the door wide open for a mug in here. I really don't want to tell Rogers what's going on behind him, because that would be an unfair advantage. But a mistake there from Rogers. Let's Bourne through round the outside. Inside even for Bourne, outside for Rogers. That's going to be an ever-closing gap.
Christopher.
So actually, from the stream, Mr. Rogers, you need to take responsibility for that.
No, I will just. Line. Sorry, well,
we will just go backwards and check it out on the Helicam. So I'm just heading backwards on the Helicam. So you made a mistake. One gets up the inside.
The corner, cause...
Yeah. Hold on. We go into the next corner. You were front wheel to his back wheel. You needed to yield that one, Rogers. That wasn't yours, mate. That one wasn't yours. So anyway, live on stream, live stewarding with Mr. Rogers. He'll be taking a look at that one afterwards to no doubt disagree with me. Okay, so Bourne is now behind Bailey in 9th place. So up front, so the movers and shakers with that incident caused by Rogers, who also is in the stream with us, has meant that Christopher and our Mark has made it through. So this would be an outstanding result. Another team member would be Mark Christopher. How much damage are you carrying, Mr. Rogers?
I have a flappy bonnet.
Okay, so Rogers is now going to be slower down the straight with the damage he's carrying, which means he's going to be vulnerable. I don't think Bourne has got as much damage as you.
No, I don't think Chris hit the.
No, Chris didn't hit. Chris didn't hit anybody. Chris was hit. So.
No, Chris didn't hit the barrier.
I know what you're trying to say. So Rogers is already 2/10 slower on this part of the straight than Pedersen. I should imagine that Pedersen now should be. We're going to get live with Rogers to find out what his top speed is. Do you have the same top speed?
Yeah, just about tops out, yeah.
Lovely move by Bourne then, showing how it should be done on Bailey. So Bourne now is carrying some pace. Bit between his teeth. Probably feels a bit angry and
Yeah, I've
aggrieved.
got a massive understeer now.
Probably got a massive target on your back too. When Bourne catches you in a minute, I'm not expecting it to be polite.
I'll let him go.
Oh, well, that will be very gentlemanly of you. So, Pedersen now all over the back of Rogers. Rogers with this damage, self-inflicted damage, is now a sitting duck for the cars behind him. Unless he's got his straight line speed, I think you really are a sitting duck, Mr. Rogers. Have you let your tyres cool down? Wow, that's understeer round there. That is all understeer round there.
Yeah.
But I think in the excitement, I think Pedersen has cooked his tyres, and now Bourne is all over him. This is looking quite exciting for the last 15 minutes. So for those of you that know, why doesn't he just pop in the pits and fix his damage? Well, particularly at this track, there's two factors behind that. One of it is there's only 15 minutes of time left, so there's probably not enough time to make a pit stop back, even with superior pace of a fixed car. And the other side of it is the pit stop time at Eau Rouge is over a couple of minutes because you have to go through both sets of pits. So that's not really an option. So will Bourne now line up Pedersen down the Kemmel Straight? Both of them have got a good exit out the top. Bourne is catching. He's catching. He's catching. He's just made a little look to see if he can make Pedersen crack. Pedersen goes defensive, which is now compromising him through the next corner. This all at the same time is letting Bailey and Holmes catch up. We have a move here between Don Simpson and Harvey. Simpson there just gaining the place on Harvey. Sorry, with Howells. It was Howells that was involved at the back. That is looking tidy. We have Bourne now. Back to the battle with Pedersen, Bourne and Bailey. Bourne has got all the pace and some. He's all over the back of Pedersen, who's now dropped away from Rogers whilst defending hard. He is really having to defend this. This is a split 2 driver versus a split 1. This is racing for honour. Pedersen has really upped his game this season. He's become one of the front runners in split 2. I just think Bourne has just got the legs on him. Gaining, gaining, gaining. Pulls out to make the move. Wow. Bourne there on Pedersen. Very cleanly done. Pedersen's left himself compromised to Bailey. On Bailey, really, that was a bomb. Should let Pedersen go. That there is a fine example of last of the late breakers. Luckily, Pedersen saw it coming, and the other guy was gone. I think that sometimes you have to try these things right. Battle for 4th place. We have our mark on Christopher. Rogers, who's dropped 12 seconds behind him. Bourne, fastest man on the track at this moment in time. Bit between his teeth. Feeling aggrieved from being knocked out of that fantastic 4th position he was sat in earlier. What was it, 4th or 5th? 4th, 5th. I think. 5th. Looking to gain redemption. Get the move done. So he can get off and chase after our mark. But with 13 minutes left and 13 seconds to go, after he's got past Rogers before he catches our mark, I don't see how that's possible. And there was the move. Rogers let him through after the previous contact. So let's see what Bourne can do. Right, our mark on Christopher. Let's watch what we've got going on here. We've definitely got a bit of a Rogers train happening now. We've got Pedersen, Holmes and Bailey all within 1.5 seconds of Rogers. Let's pop the gaps up for a second so we can see where everybody is. So Bourne not quite doing enough to catch the back of our mark. Maybe now he's got that position back after Rogers. He just hasn't quite got the motivation that he had in catching him. The Rogers train is just managing to hold Pedersen off at that 1 second mark of Holmes and Bailey, a little bit closer behind. This Simpson, Howells and Bywater battle. The gift that keeps giving. Simpson made a mistake there. Side by side as they head towards Eau Rouge. Howells has got the inside. Who's going to back out? None of them. Whoa, that's brave stuff. That is brave stuff. Simpson goes... he did the sensible thing. Simpson took the extra part of the track. That leaves him now under pressure from Bywater. I think that there might have been a little bit of a squeeze there from Simpson to Bywater. So I think that we will watch him pop across the track. We'll jump on his bonnet and then on his wing. I think he just comes across on Bywater and chops him to the grass. Yes, that was a little bit too vicious there from Simpson. We don't want to be putting our fellow competitors on the grass. But the battle continues on. Howells from Simpson, from Bywater from Harvey. Currently right on board with Howells. Lovely view backwards of the chasing pack. I've missed a Bourne defending heavily from Rogers. There's been a move and I missed it. Let's roll backwards and watch. It was a mistake there by Bourne.
Deep in the chicane, yeah.
Bourne went deep, so all that hard work is give up. possibly as we head into the last, I can't just see because of the time's gone for the last 3 minutes, maybe Bourne's tyres have gone off. Although Bourne looks like he's ready to mount another attack.
He hasn't got a flappy bonnet.
On Rogers, here he goes for another move. We'll just be quiet for a moment because Rogers is on the stream. Okay, nicely done there by Bourne. So his earlier mistake, he's managed to use the speed advantage with Rogers having a damaged car. Apparently there's a battle for P1. Not that I can see. Young is out front. Then we've got Wolf 3.8 behind. Got Cooper 12 behind that, who's being chased down by Christopher, who in turn is being chased by our Mark. We then have Bourne 16.6 behind, with Rogers all over him. Bourne's made another mistake there, with Rogers getting the jump on him. Some feedback from inside with Rogers there with his flappy bonnet. We then have the Bailey Howells, the Pedersen Bailey Holmes battle. So this is Bailey in front with Holmes second. That's a close one. Back to the Howells Bywater. Let's sit in the middle of this battle and let's go backwards and see how this unfolds. So this is Howells, Simpson and Bywater. So we're currently right on board with Simpson, the white car, with Bywater behind him. Bywater's took one for the team there with the track limit to get a better run. And goes wide, and Simpson's able to make it back down the inside. Oh, and I maybe jumped too soon. Simpson has got that move done there. That was a fantastic driving there. Right. So back up front. Young is still well away. And Cooper Christopher is having to go defensive to hold his fourth position from our Mark. Rogers is back all over Bourne. Now I could have sworn I've ridden on board tonight with Garland in this game, and he's just joined us. On the YouTube chat with 5 minutes to go. Okay, this is where the action is. And yet again, Simpson has gone deep again, leaving the door wide open for Bywater. I think I'm just going to stay with these guys. These guys are where this is at. Probably some of the best racing I've seen. We've got Bywater split one, Simpson Invitational, and Harvey as a split two. So we've got one from each group. Simpson there goes wide, goes to take the inside, but they've topped out on speed now. So Simpson, although he had the initial run in the draft, has then topped out on speed. Harvey mighty on the brakes, absolutely mighty on the brakes there, closing that up. You'll see that Simpson is hunting around here behind Bywater, just trying that contra line, that opposite line. So tight in, wide out, wide in, tight out, just to try and get that jump done. I think his best opportunity is down here through the next two lefts if he can get a good enough run. Let's hope Bywater doesn't go too deep. Here comes Simpson, mightily fast through this section, gaining 0.2, 0.3 of a second through there alone. I am busy looking at my screens to make sure that we're not missing anything anywhere else. Christopher has nearly caught up with our Mark. We'll go back to that in a second. We've got Simpson, who's just gone wide again from Harvey. Let's nip up the front. Our Mark looks like he's going to make a move on Christopher here. So we've got third, fourth and fifth. riding on board with Christopher, the middle car out of these three. Oh, I don't think he was quick through there. He'll need to go right to go defensive. I think he might be safe because they're all going to top out on speed any moment now. And that's it, like little bees, ba 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 ba, as they go down the straight. Nice defensive drive in there from Christopher. Just letting Cooper have that little bit of breathing space. Simpson battle again. The Bywater Simpson Harvey battle. That's still going on. We've got back to Christopher and our Mark. These guys are racing each other for second in their respective championship, second and third. So this is, although it's fourth and fifth on the track, it's second and third in their championship. Another change of positions. Simpson has gone deep on the brakes there. Beat them in. Let's catch that. Very, very late on the brakes. Bywater gives him room. Simpson's then slow out. Harvey then goes, look, mate, I'm going to have a look at this. Nice switcheroo. Oh, mistake there from Harvey. Bywater's having none of this from Simpson. I want that place. This place is for me. I'm coming for you, kid. Simpson with a wobble on. Don't know the name of that corner. I reckon Simpson's cooked his tyres. Bywater's just got a little bit more at this point. They're just dropping Harvey. Oh, a mistake there by Bywater. Let's play that back. So we'll ride on board with Bywater. Let's see what happens here. He gets up on the curb, bounces off the curb, gets up on that curb, loses it. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. That was some fantastic racing. Right, out front, 55 seconds to go, final lap. Young, Wolfschleiner, Cooper, Christopher, who's managed to pull out a bit of a gap from our Mark, Bourne, Rogers, Pedersen, Bailey, Holmes rounds out the top 10. So, YouTube, drivers of the day.
Me!
We definitely can't give it to Rogers. He definitely Rogered somebody else's race up there. See what I did there? Rogered somebody else's race. Do you like that? I'd like to give it to three drivers. I want to give it to the three drivers that entertained us the most during this race. And a little battle here on the last lap between Bailey and Holmes. And the same with Christopher. So here they go across the line. So that's Cooper across the line, Christopher across the line, or Mark. We then got Bourne next across the line. Rogers, Pedersen, Bailey. We might be having a move on the last lap here. I've just had to jump to this. We've got Zambas on Bywater. Bywater will be carrying a bit of damage after his trip earlier on. So, I'm going to give driver of the day to 3 drivers, Mr. Rogers. I'm going to give it to Howells, Simpson and Harvey.
Okay, yeah. I didn't see any of that, but it sounded like
sorry, not Howells, sorry. Simpson, Harvey and Bywater. Those 3 have given us absolutely stacks of entertainment through this race, as you will have heard me talking about quite passionately.
Absolutely.
So what I am going to do, however, is because last time I did this, the stream cut off early. I'm going to
finish it yet.
I'm going to come off this when these cars are finished. So we're currently riding on board with Schmidt, who's having a battle with Trowbridge on the last lap, 20th and 21st. And I don't think Newton, 34 seconds behind, is going to get the opportunity to finish. Let's have a look, see if Newton gets the opportunity to finish his race. I'm going to leave that up. Anything that we'd like to talk about, Mr. Rogers, before we kill the stream? I was actually thinking I might jump into Discord and see who's available to drag into the booth. So let's pull into the booth with us. Okay, so Wolf doesn't go in the stream, does he? So let's pull across Young, our race winner. Stream.
You can just pull across. Yeah, pull across. Brian, do you want me to pull him across?
Yeah, go on. You pull him across.
He is now here. You've been pulled across, Mr. Young.
What?
You're now live.
You are now live. Yeah.
Are we actually live this time? Is it still streaming?
Yes, yeah, I've left the streaming on. You're still live. So the other one that we've got Mr. Cooper as well in the booth. I think Mr. Christopher has just joined us. So, Mr. Young, start to finish and pole, but we didn't give you driver of the day.
Oh, well, I didn't really deserve driver of the day because
it was boring. It was boring. It looked at one moment in time that Mr. Wolf had got his finger out and got within 0.3, I think, or 0.4 of you, according to my screen. But you just turned up the wick and disappeared again.
Yeah, well, I made a mistake. So I did. Right, I had a wee vape on my vape on the way along the track, and then I couldn't see my braking point.
Brilliant stuff. Okay, next, Mr. Cooper. You'll need to press his button, push to talk, will he? Has he forgotten he's got it set?
Probably on push to talk, yeah.
Oh, I'm pressing it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah. So then, Mr. Cooper, under pressure for the whole race, got alongside Wolfie at the start, but gave him, you're going to kick yourself when you watch it, you gave the man too much room.
Yeah,
you were too polite.
He deserves respect, doesn't he? He's I know full well. If I'd got in front of him, I think I'd have. Yeah, you have to pick your battle sometime.
Yes. Obviously, you probably. I don't think ultimately you'd got the pace to run with him. Even if you had got in front of him, I genuinely don't think you'd got the pace to run with him. But nevertheless, you managed to hold off from pressure from everybody seemed to come and
crack you caught me out on that corner, Mark. You just overbraked, so I had to slam it on and abort out. Chris went up the inside.
Yeah, there was it.
Kind of sorry, not sorry there.
Don't.
It wasn't half a let off.
I wasn't sorry, Mark Cooper, on the next corner.
Do not be sorry, Mark Cooper, because when you go back and see how Rogered somebody's race, You won't.
We'll disagree. We'll actually disagree with that, Darren, after looking at the replay.
That's an interesting way to put it.
He did me last time in a similar fashion. He put me under massive pressure, and then he got me towards the end. So I was happy to sort of hold on somehow this time around.
You were a little bit all over the place, weren't you?
I am glad, though.
I was really struggling with front end grip.
I'm glad, though, that Mr. Christopher has joined us because
been taken out.
He was tickling along, seventh place for ages, and then picked up the pieces when everybody felt wrong. Then put some time in and actually caught up with Cooper and started to put Cooper under some pressure, whilst being pressured by our Mark for what looked like most of the race.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, but you also didn't get Driver of the Day.
Cheers.
Oh, well done.
I don't suppose it was Darren Newton that got Driver of the Day, was it?
No, I wasn't racing. I was sat here. My rig is bust. I decided to hop on and commentate on a stream where I haven't got the skins loaded. So they're all black Ginettas. But we'll discuss that later.
Darren,
yes, mate.
Are you telling us you forgot to give Driver of the Day out?
No. I gave drivers the Driver of the Day out, but I gave it to 3 drivers that entertained us the most through the whole race. These are midfield drivers that raced within 0.2 of a second, 3 cars, with it under half a second, all 3 cars, for most of the race, switching places every lap, several times. It was brilliant. So I gave those guys, I can't remember the names now, so I'll have to rewatch the stream to learn it. But yes.
That's Driver of the Day, you can't remember their names?
Oh, it was Simpson. It was Simpson, Harvey, and
that guy in the black car.
The guy in the black car, yes.
For those watching in black and white, it was the black one.
So Simpson was the only one you had then, was it? Because he was in the wrong skin.
I had Simpson and the Vibro X's cars.
The Vibros were showing, yeah. Hi, Jürgen.
Yeah. That's because you run Vibro, Darren.
Somebody else has joined us on the stream, Mr. Pedersen.
Yeah, Jürgen's here.
Fantastic, Mr. Pedersen. You're live, do not swear. First of the split twos.
Yeah, I had 2 warnings, so I had to take it slow. The last
Only 2, Jürgen.
Yeah,
you weren't pushing it. I had the full 3. Yeah.
Let me do my interview. You can gas bag afterwards. Come on.
I took one on the last lap. You did interview me.
Interview Jürgen, yeah.
Yeah, come on, Davina, calm down.
You're live on Channel 4, do not swear. So, leader of the split twos. Relatively uneventful race, I think, for yourself, but a strong showing, nevertheless.
I was almost by myself the whole race.
Still strong for split 2. There's been a campaign and in the live chat on YouTube for you to go to split 1 next season. Apparently, you're too good to be a split 2.
Okay. Let's see how that pans out.
Right then, now we can gas bag.
We can gas bag. So I'll defer to my fellow steward, Mr. Christopher, and say, what's the rule as far as the front of the car? Shoulder.
Well, we're not going to debate that live on YouTube.
We're not going to debate that live.
What I'm going to do with my stream is I'm going to say bye to everybody on the stream.
Okay,
right?
Cheerio, everybody.
Okay, if we'll all say bye. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.